I'm Abby Kowal with Exposed Sports, and this is the recap, week number 2. Mansfield Summit cruised by Arlington Seguin 48-6 on Thursday night. In its first 8 offensive series, Summit scored a total of 5 times. Kanan McKinney threw for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns, while Jaden Lott ran for 107 yards with 1 TD. Summit's defense shut Seguin down and held them to only 6 points that came from a 26-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Xavion Bryce to Jalen Hunter. In a huge matchup at Maverick Stadium, Martin came out on top 33-14 over Hebron. Martin came out for redemption this year, as the last time they faced Hebron, they got beat a whopping 63-24. With 17 special team points and a stellar performance by Martin, they got the redemption they were looking for. They came out strong as Jonathan Carter ran back the opening kickoff 104 yards. After a successful field goal, Martin Jr. Maurice Blackwell blocked a Hebron punt and recovered it in the end zone for a Warrior touchdown and a 17-0 lead in the opening quarter. Hebron came out strong after halftime with a pair of touchdowns in the opening minute of the third quarter. Hebron was looking strong, however, Martin responded with 3 more field goals and a defense that was ready to seal the deal, which they surely did. Keller Central defeated Richland 23-13 at Keller ISD Athletic Complex. Keller Central put up 3 scores in the first half, all passes from quarterback Gavin White, including one 56-yard pass to Justin Garrett. DJ Graham had 7 catches for 94 yards, as White finished with 176 yards passing. Richland quarterback Cole Benson threw for 212 yards with 2 TDs, one from Brandon Johnson and the other from CJ Baskerville. However, they still fell short in the end. Highland Park won its 33rd consecutive game against Mesquite Horn, making them the team with the longest streak in the state of Texas. In a 52-25 victory over Mesquite Horn, Highland Park holds on to their winning streak. Wide receiver Case Savage gave quarterback Chandler Morris a break as he completed a 44-yard double pass to Will Pettyjohn, as well as a pass on a 2-point conversion to Morris himself. Morris, however, finished with 210 passing yards and 45 rushing yards. Going into the half, the Scots led 31-13, and Horn was ready to compete in the third quarter. Quarterback Davizea Gabriel had a nice 55-yard touchdown pass. However, it wasn't enough to take the lead, and Highland Park walked away with a win. This victory gave head coach Randy Allen his 394th career win, moving him into a tie for 3rd on Texas's all-time list. Southlake Carroll wasted no time as they blew past Colleyville Heritage 50-9 in the newly renovated Mustang Panther Stadium. Dragons quarterback Quinn Ewers left it all on the field, completing 22 of his 39 passes and throwing for a few touchdowns as the offense compiled for 589 total yards. The number 4 team recorded 49 rushes, averaging 5.9 yards per carry. Heritage quarterback Isaac Chabet threw a 90-yard bomb in the second quarter to put the Panthers on the scoreboard, but the momentum didn't last. Southlake Carroll finished with 33 first downs versus just 3 for the Panthers. Leading 25-9 at the half, the Dragons shut out Heritage while doubling their own score. Lancaster rolled over West Mesquite in a 64-20 victory last Friday night. Lancaster standout DQ James tallied up 101 rushing yards as well as a touchdown for Lancaster, while Trey Bradford put up 3 TDs and 138 yards. Courtney Massengill and Courtney Washington both returned fumbles for scores, and Wayman Smith had a 38-yard pick 6 to add to the scoreboard. For West Mesquite, do-it-all Ty Jordan scored twice, including a 75-yard punt return and another receiving touchdown, but they still fell short to the Tigers in week 2. In a 55-27 victory, the DeSoto Eagles defeated Jesuit at Postel Stadium. Samari Collier didn't hold anything back and threw for 429 yards and 6 touchdowns for the Eagles. In the first half alone, Collier threw for 291 yards and 5 touchdowns, with one of those being a nice 70-yard pass to teammate Jaden Wilson. Ashton Hawkins had a nice 7 receptions for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns, as well as Lawrence Arnold with 10 receptions for 135 yards. DeSoto's DeMarcus Jackson also had 3 tackles for losses and forced a fumble, as the Eagles had 10 tackles for losses overall. Jesuit was without standout player E.J. Smith due to a sprained ankle, but quarterback Rance Holman had 2 touchdowns and passed for 259 yards, and wide receiver Jonathan Paredes had 7 catches for 121 yards and a touchdown. In a big matchup at the Cotton Bowl on Saturday morning, Denton Geyer walked away with a close victory over Cedar Hill 40-36. Geyer and Cedar Hill traded the lead a total of 7 times in the second half in the nail-biter at the Cotton Bowl. Running back Kadrick Cobb sealed the deal with the final touchdown to give the Wildcats that 40-36 victory. Cobbs rushed for 114 yards with TDs from the 16, 19, and 1-yard line. Trailing 22-20 at halftime, Texas A&M commit Eli Stowers scored on an 80-yard touchdown run to take the lead 27-22. Only 17 seconds later, Cedar Hill went up 28-27 when Caden Salter threw a 64-yard touchdown pass to Anthony Thomas. Geyer rushed 50 times for 370 yards and ended up with 677 yards total. Stowers, who threw 13 of 21 passes for 370 yards and rushed for 145 yards and 1 TD, really left it out on the field. Cedar Hill tallied a total of 537 yards as quarterback Salter threw 12 of 23 for 325 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let us know your thoughts on last week's games in the comments below. We saw a lot of crazy plays last week, but here are the top 10 that our team caught. DeSoto's Jaden Wilson will start us off at number 10 with a stellar 70-yard reception from quarterback Samari Collier. We will go out to the Cotton Bowl for number 9 as Cedar Hill's quarterback Caden Salter throws a nice 46-yard touchdown pass to receiver Quinn Bright. At number 8, Lancaster's Trey Bradford with a 75-yard touchdown run versus West Mesquite. We will stay with Lancaster for number 7 as Latrell Caples returns a 55-yard punt. Another DeSoto player with the number 6 slot as Lawrence Arnold has an incredible touchdown catch over a defender for 34 yards. Number 5 takes us back out to Lancaster with another play from Trey Bradford as he runs a kickoff return back 70 yards for a touchdown. And back to the Cotton Bowl for number 4, Eli Stowers runs 180 yards for a Denton Geyer touchdown. And now for your top 3, in that third spot, Carter Johnson with a 104-yard kickoff return for Arlington Martin. Number 2, out in Lancaster, senior Ty Jordan from West Mesquite with a 75-yard punt return. And taking that number 1 spot this week, Wayman Smith from Lancaster shows out with a 38-yard pick 6. Here are some other players that just barely missed the top 10. Justin Garrett from Keller Central with a 56-yard pass from Gavin White. Arlington Martin's Michael Carradine with a 70-yard fumble return. Did we miss a top play? Make sure to message us to let us know. Now it's time for our Players of the Week. First up, Samari Collier. DeSoto's junior quarterback will take home Offensive Player of the Week this week. Samari showed what he was made of in the matchup against Jesuit, completing 29 of 41 passes for 429 yards and 6 touchdowns, as well as an additional 50 yards rushing. Defensive Player of the Week will go to Arlington Martin sophomore defensive lineman Ernest Cooper IV, who could not be stopped all game. He ended the game with 1 forced fumble, 4 tackles for loss, and 6 tackles altogether. And for a new addition this week, the Underclassman of the Week will go to Glenn Rice. The sophomore quarterback for Lancaster completed 11 for 17 passes and 122 yards with 1 touchdown. These were our top players of the week. Make sure you let us know if you agree. On Friday night, DeSoto will head to Bishop Dunn for the Battle of the Undefeated at 7:30. DeSoto, coming off 2 impressive wins over Odessa Permian and Jesuit, will look to go 3-0 this week. DeSoto quarterback Samari Collier has shown us all what he is made of so far this year, racking up a total of 595 yards in 2 games. The Eagles will also have help from a powerhouse receiving corps in Lawrence Arnold, Ashton Hawkins, Jordan Brown, and Jaden Wilson. Although DeSoto is a favorite going into this game, Bishop Dunn will put up a fight. Coming off 2 impressive wins as well over Legacy School of Sports Sciences and Dallas Skyline, DeSoto will need to watch out for Jordan Crook, the number 1 linebacker in Texas, who also is a stud at wide receiver. Also, dual-threat quarterback Simeon Evans will come out ready to play, with 363 passing yards, 118 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. This matchup will be one to watch. Another big Friday night matchup will take place at Highland Park High School, where the Scots will battle Frisco Lone Star at 7:30. After their 33rd win last week, Highland Park will try to keep the streak alive. Standout quarterback Chandler Morris has been nothing but solid this season, with 689 passing yards and 230 rushing yards. And with a solid team behind him, they'll take the field ready to play. Other players to keep an eye on for the Scots are Prince Dorba, wide receiver Ben Smith, linebacker Patrick Turner, running back Will Anderson, and safety Brock Bakich. A huge matchup will take place Saturday at 6 p.m. at Duncanville, as they will face powerhouse program from Washington, D.C., St. John's in the Duncanville Classic. St. John's is a nationally prominent private school that recruits some of the nation's top players and arguably has one of the toughest schedules in the country. Both teams, ranked in the Max Prep's top 25 this year, will go head-to-head as quarterback Sol J. Mava for St. John's will battle it out with standout quarterback for Duncanville, Jaquindon Jackson. St. John's will need to look out for Duncanville's 4-star safety Chris Thompson Jr., wide receivers Tristan Smith, Marquellen Crowell, Zariah Beeson, linebacker Jadarius Thursby, and a dangerous one in Roderick Daniels after he ran back a kickoff return for a touchdown last week. Those were your top upcoming games of the week. Let us know which games you guys will be at. I'm Abby Kowal with Exposed Sports, and thanks for watching the recap. We'll see you guys next week. Hey guys, it's Abby. If you liked this video, make sure you like and comment below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We know you want to do it, and we'll see you next time.